tisk tisk tisk. Someone has been very naughty lately, or in the past 3 days, and it's only getting worse. Yeah. So as you've seen in the title of this video, and if you didn't already know what's been going on in the past week or so, Unity has levied a new tax on developers, or wants to levy a new tax on developers, charging, if you make a certain amount of money with your game, and you're already paying for their premium plans, or their, not premium plans, that's the wrong word for it, but their commercial plans, and and someone installs your game, you pay an extra couple cents. Nothing too crazy unless you know the industry. Because what's an install? And how do you track it? An install is every single time someone puts a game onto their system. An easy example of this is when you get an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5 disc version, you put your disc in and it has to install first before you can play. Every single time you do that, you'll be charged a fee. Or developers will be charged a fee if they make a certain amount of money. Which has never really been done before and is forever going, and it's just headed in a dystopian direction of you own nothing. To take it even worse than it already is. Now you might be thinking to yourself, maybe not you, because maybe you're new to this channel, but if you're thinking to yourself, that doesn't sound so bad, because I'm not making it sound so bad. Paying an extra 20 cents every single time someone installs your game, it doesn't sound too bad. However, that will affect your decisions as a game designer and as owner of a publisher or game company who made a game at any point in time with Unity, at least whenever they implemented the runtime install feature, which is also pretty dystopian, that all Unity games are always online and phoning home, like a modern car or your smartphone, or an always online game, and you never want that for an indie game anyway. So this will only make it worse, as Unity has stated they'll use the runtime data to tell you when it's to charge you the install fee. I have zero idea how that's supposed to actually work, and I'm pretty sure they're the same way. They have the same amount of idea. Because the thing is, unless it's strictly runtime for an installer program, and even then it has issues because you can always get another installer program in Unity. Unless it's that, or the game is always online, where whenever you log into your Unity account, that's when it first charges you. That's what classifies as an install, which is no good. You don't want that for any game anyway, or any game really anyway. So yeah, this is really a not a good situation for anyone. Not for the new CEO who thinks this was who the good idea fairy whispered in his ear. This is a good idea. He also happened to have worked for EA a few years ago. That does not matters, and probably led to his mindset. Although EA doesn't do this kind of thing. They just squeeze you normally. They don't squeeze you through underhanded nonsense. Which is like the underhanded nonsense. That's the upfront nonsense. The underhanded nonsense, as you'll see in these other videos, I'll link in the description, at least link this channel in the description. The other video. What we learned later is this was been in working in the EULA for a for a couple months now. So if you signed the EULA a couple months ago, your game, you no longer have the privilege of not paying this tax. If you signed the EULA a year ago, for example, you won't have to pay the tax on those games because the EULA you signed was just for didn't have this clause in it for the install fee. But then again, you wouldn't be able to take advantage of it because you need a Unity account still to pay for the commercial license. So that's no good either. That wouldn't work either. Actually, this is really cunning and it's subterfuge of trying to get money out of people. Unfortunately, it's illegal. It's kind of the bait and switch. Sorry, mouth is dry. So yeah. Which this just isn't a good situation for anyone. It's not a good situation for devs who have to pay more money. And let their games be very sketchy. It's not a good situation for Unity as it's causing devs to move out and just get really mad at them en masse. Which they were already mad at them for being really stupid before. Like having Always Online, the main reason why I loved Unity was the Always Online program. Like the Unity just is so bloated. I mean, yes, it's not nearly as bloated as something like Unreal, but like compared to Godot and RPG Maker, they're so lovely. They're so light. They're so easy to make games. They're so easy just to spend time making games with. Whereas Unity is like you gotta sit down. You gotta turn your PC on turbo. You gotta go all the way. You gotta close down every tab. You gotta close down your million tabs that you know you have on because you're a developer. You gotta close down your 79 tabs. You gotta do all the things. You get Unity to run at its peak performance. Whereas Godot, it's just turn it on with your 79 tabs. Who cares? Turn it on and play another game in the background while you do some nonsense. Maybe look up a tutorial on your 8th screen. Like, it's not nearly that heavy as Unity. Which is the main reason why I switched. Not only that, but Unity's just generally has degraded in the recent years. It just hasn't been upkept very well. And yes, it gets new features, but those new features break other features and require textbooks of information to figure out how to fix. Unity's just been going downhill ever since it went public, unfortunately, because of the EA CEO, EA executive. And now they did something that really made developers angry with the tax. So yeah. But anyway, so they will be doing some things, as does other works. And there's also a bet for gamers as, do you really want to pay 20 cents to install and deinstall your game when you shouldn't have DRM in the first place? Like, do you having to keep your game always online, or make sure your games are strictly through Steam, and make sure you have the Steam open to play your game or what have you, make sure you have an account to play your game, stuff like that. Now, do you really want Unity to be part of that world? Do you really want most of the indie games to be part of that world, and the vast majority of VR games to be part of that world of AAA games that require you always being online, have an account, and have Steam or their store open? Oh wait, I think I already changed it. Unless I didn't see it up there. Yeah, non-RPG Maker game, okay. Yeah, I already changed it. Yeah, I used to say Unity instead of non-RPG Maker game. Okay, well let's just open Godot and RPG Maker. What the heck is RPG Maker? Godot opened faster than RPG Maker. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Because I can have both up at the same time. You don't have Unity open with anything else. I mean, I guess you can. And I have like a 3090 and Ryzen 950X and just a really powerful computer. But yeah. But let me go over the reasons why I switched from Unity to Godot. And even Blender to Godot. Blender to Godot and this guy. You weren't pinned? Question mark? Or were you? I just missed you. And this thing. Save me Windows 11. Save me. That's too big? Question mark? Alright, not drinking. Can you not drink that much? Oh, you can't drink that much. Oh, that's stupid. Alright. You see, this is why I like Unity, is you can just move the camera. I mean, this is why I like Godot instead of Unity, which you can never really figure out. I never really got this far in Unity. Whereas Godot, I got this far. And then stopped because I couldn't render it because of a rendering bug. Actually, we got debug. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of stuck with Godot. I kind of, well, that's not the, that is the right word for what I'm thinking. It's just not the right, it's just, you need to be interpreted a little bit. I'm stuck with Godot because of a rendering bug. I'm pretty sure. It's either that, or I did something, or I did something that doesn't make sense. Which doesn't make sense to me. Like, watch this. I don't want to export. You see, yeah, this is where I'm stuck. You see where it renders everything really nicely? Yet, you're missing something. You're missing something pretty important. I mean, you can't even run the thing and have like a million things open. It's missing her. It's missing Luck. You see, it shows the player character's point of view, but it's not showing Luck right there. And I'm not quite sure why. I'm not quite sure why this is an issue to begin with, because this isn't a new fancy technique. It's literally just how Doom did it with 2D sprites on a 3D world. But as you can see, it's not running the sprite. And also, you do need to code in the camera controls, which is kind of silly, but anyway. So yeah, that's my main issue, is I have a rendering error. I mean, it says debug errors. Resource format binary. Open. So it can't open the resource. Why? And also, another nice thing about Godot is everything's that's easy to get. As you can see, I have a thing. I have a thing. I can press the thing and get a thing. I can press the thing and get a thing. I can press the thing and get a thing. I can get a tech demo out of a thing. That's really nice. I can never get that far in Unity. Oh, that was my own stuff anyway. With something, not even with stock access, I could really get that. Not even with stuff built into the engine could I get this far with Unity. And that's the nice thing about Godot. Godot is so user-friendly compared to Blender and Unity. That's why I love what is this? What was that? No, wait. Oh, that doesn't seem right. Man, what I want to do is make deer animations in Godot because it's just so easy to manipulate objects and get things done and render things. But if I can't do that with 2D assets, I'm stuck. Again, I'm stuck. I could try Unreal, but Unreal is just so hard to run, has the same... It's set up in the same way as Unity, but it's Unreal, so yeah. It just isn't nice to use. It's not nearly as nice to use as Godot is. And then now we have you. Now we have Blockbench. That is what your name is, right? A Blockbench, which is what I'm using to make assets because that's all I really need. And it's so easy to make assets in. It's so nice. Make 3D assets, it's so nice. And then of course there is RPG Maker, which I'm making my first video game in. Haven't touched it in months. I really should stop doing that. I really should start touching it. Just opening it at least. Maybe fixing some dialogue. But I just haven't touched it. I don't know why. But it also runs really light. You pay a one-time fee. Godot is completely free, by the way. Godot is 1% free, so you install it. If you make $1 trillion with your Godot game, you pay Godot nothing. You may want to donate to Godot. You may want to fund them for a year, at least once, with your $1 trillion game. But yeah, no, it's really nice. And with my video game, and with the Gemstone Chronicles, I do want to transition it to my own art style. Eventually, maybe I want to finish the game first with just this, but I don't think I can do that with all the separate stories because I don't have the assets for it. I don't have the vanilla assets for it. So it's probably better sooner than later to transfer all my to make everything and make everything with my own art style. Yeah. Also, what's been hanging me up on the Gemstone Chronicles is just working on my tabletop game, which I haven't worked on in a month anyway. Or not very much in a month, as you see by the latest update for my tabletop board game RPG, for my tabletop game. And that's what's been stopping with this. That's been really stopping me with my game. It's just being busy with everything else and just really thinking about it. I need to think about it more. I need to have it open. I need to work on it. Even if it's just going here, even if it's just going here, and working on the dialogue, cleaning up the dialogue. It really shouldn't be that hard to get that back in my mind. But it just has been. And then Godot has that one rendering issue, which I got stuck on and haven't come back to because I just haven't had time to. And yeah. Wait. Yeah. And when I do get this figured out in Godot, I will be able to make journeys again with Godot. It won't be nearly as pretty as it would be with Blender, but it'll be fine. It will be fine. Besides, who doesn't like the void? You get some serious problems if you don't like the void. Oh, I'm kidding, of course, but anyway. Actually, see, it shows up here. Whatever it doesn't like. So you can try putting it on the same drive as Godot. That may be the issue. You may not be able to may not be able to run it because it's not on the same drive, which is a really odd error. It should just make it load in slower, and I wouldn't care. But like, okay, sure. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I split, and also like again, Godot being open source and being just so polished for an open source product. I always flirt with open source stuff, but I never really use them. I use some of them some of the time, but I don't really use open source products because they're just simply not nearly as nice. Or they're not nearly as convenient, or they don't have enough features, or don't have as many features, but Godot does. Godot has everything. Like, if you want to make endgame, and don't use RPG Maker, use Godot. It's really, really nice. Of course, you can also use Unreal if you want to, and also, if you're making a VR game, you do have VR support. If you want to make a game with RTX, for crying out loud, we need more RTX games. If you're making a game with RTX, Godot has it. I mean, yes, Godot has a reputation of making strictly 2D stuff, but it's getting better in 3D. It's getting better in 3D with every update. Of course, I showed you an issue with it, but it may be just an issue with my setup. Probably is. But yeah. And actually, now that I think about it, I mean, I've been thinking about this ever since the announcement while I'm looking here. I've been thinking about this ever since the announcement, but I could make the deck of aces in RPG Maker. I could. It would be, how do I say, interesting. It wouldn't be fluid or anything, but I could in theory make it an RPG Maker. It would be hilarious. Um, and technically I wouldn't need a code in it either. And it could just be a minigame in a Dirt Story version, in a Dirt Story, in a bigger Dirt Story game. But yeah, I could make something. I could make something with. I could make deck of aces in RPG Maker if I really tried. And also, and because Gemstone Chronicles is such a massive project, it's by nature it's a big project. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I know that never a good sign. But you know what we could do? You know what we could do? You know what we could do? Number 0. Okay, that's real quick. Did I post this to the channel or not? I have a feeling I did. Yeah. But I have this concept of the Dirt Story characters playing with Trium, and you just follow their adventures in the book. What we could do is make this into a video game. Make this into an RPG Maker game. And you go back between that. You go back between the Derverse and you go between the Derverse and that, and it could be short. It probably is short. It should be short. I'm entering at will. Yeah. Yeah. A different tile, but anyway. And they could set it up like 1,000-year door, especially since the 1,000-year door just got its remaster just got announced, where you got different, you play as different. I mean, yeah, you put in different segments of the adventure you do. Like at the beginning and ending of each chapter, you go to the real world and do real world stuff for each of the characters. The video game. Oh, wait. Wait. I got another idea. We can cheese it. Oh, this could be some cheese. We got like some cheese on this sandwich. Not only that, but when you go into the adventure, it's using stock RPG Maker assets. But when you go to different segments on Derstyle and for Derstyle and take them with nonsense, it's using my custom art. Yes. I mean, we can add these back too. But yes. Yes, 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 yes. Well, it will be a bit jarring, I think, but I think it will work. Especially if I write it correctly and like theme my art around it correctly. I had the RPG Maker assets. Like have like the room be in Trium, or be the room be in my art, but have the wait, I could have the character. I could have my character. I could have a Der's crew, a Der squad. This is the first goal now. Der squad. Yeah, when it goes to the real world, it's always in my pixel art. When it's in when you're playing when they're playing Trium, it's always in the pixel art. I mean, it's always in the RPG Maker art, the vanilla RPG Maker art. Oh yes. Mm. Now what do we do? How do we want to do monetization? Because again, it's going to be interesting. Because it's going to be using a lot of the stock assets, but also a lot of custom assets too. And I'm not quite sure how itch.io handles DLC. I don't think it does at all. I'm not quite sure how itch.io handles DLC, but if it was like on Steam, I could have the base game where you have 3 hours of and you get the opening of the game, 3 hours of content for 3 hours of content for 99 cents, and then you add on to that. No, that's a little scummy. How about 9 hours of content how about 9 hours of content for 99 cents? Or $3.99. Yeah. And then, like, I might buck Jake, and yeah, you should get a complete, yeah. For that $3, you should get, for that $3 and either 3 hours of content, $1 an hour, and having it be segmented means I can get out the door faster. And you pay by installment. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, let's start small. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Get you out of here. Am I doing the versions with RPG Maker? How am I doing the versions with RPG Maker? Yeah. Son of a... Why did you fail? No. Thank you. Tell me why you're failing great projects. There we go. Yeah, I guess let's start over again. Let's end this gripping. We're running off of the Classic Wizard first. There we go. Long, that's fine. Actually, that's Spirit CS right here. Is a little bit lighter. Actually, that's fine. I'm going to need to make a standard one. I should like that way better. Yeah, we're actually. That might be it. And then we're doing the second one. Actually, not too bad. Ah, it's locked. Never mind. And your knight. Making the scoundrel. Yeah, that works. There you go. Yeah, it works. Yeah, those really fit. ranger. There we go. A reasonable ranger to me. Ranger. Hmm. Actually, what hair? Maybe. Actually, that's fine. That's fine. Actually, that works. Innovator and Doctor are left. There we go. Yep, that works. And finally, the Doctor. Actually, hold on. That's better. Sure. That's fine. Alright. And I think I'm done for right now. So yeah, that'll be our first video. Thanks for this session. Thanks for watching. Appreciate watching these videos. We're gonna release lots of me share our stuff in the description below, such as various sports channels, of course, various sports channels, watching use it as a good channel to introduce and by sharing your friends and list. Tired. And now I just had to share my thoughts on the Unity debacle and why I chose these two game engines as I did, and showed you a little bit of Godot and showed you a little bit of RPG Maker, and I'll be working on this too. I'll probably be working on this mainly because it should be a lot easier for me to do than it should be a lot easier for me to do than the Gemstone Chronicles. But anyway. Dang. Man, why so that bad, so? Thanks for watching. And I guess see you in a second.